What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video today, and in this video we are doing the 34th installment of Retro Reviews. Today we're going to be reviewing my Gemini Jets 1 to 400 scale Eastern Express Saab 340. This is another very lovely model that I acquired during the Airliners International 2024 convention in Kansas City. This model, I believe I got from the ADI table, the Airliners Distributing Incorporated table, which those are the people that are like the parent company of Gemini Jets and all that, and they help distribute their models along with a couple other manufacturers. And I got this around retail price. I think it was like 37, I want to say. It was less than 40 for sure, so it's a really good deal on this compared to the normal retail price that I've seen these things go for, because now it's getting close to $40 for these little Saabs, which I think is ridiculous, but that's a story for another time. Overall, I'm really happy with how this model turned out, and again, there's my pin. You'll keep seeing that in every retro review where I've acquired a model from an Airliners International convention. So we'll go ahead and put the model off to the side. It's very tiny, so I have to be careful not to knock it off the table. And I'm sure if I did, it would probably survive, but we're not going to make those kinds of references here because I'd hate to do that, whether accidentally or intentionally. So starting off with the box, we have the Gemini Jets 25th anniversary logo still present on most of the releases from this year. The Make for Collectors by Collectors slogan. There's an image of the plane, and then we have Saab 340B. I think this is actually an A variant, but I could be wrong. Then we have the Eastern Express titles. Then we have 1 to 400 scale die-cast model aircraft underneath. There's the inside with a plastic cradle, and then there is the pamphlet you can pause to read. Then there's the bottom of the box, which has the normal Gemini advertising. Here's the side of the box. Item number on this is GJEAL 1251. There's the top of the box, then the right side, and then here is the back. This one, of course, a 2024 release. This is announced in the May/June now announcement, but it was announced for the month of May. And I was very fortunate to see all of them come in time for the Airliners convention, because I think that was their goal all along, was to get them in before the big show, the international show in Kansas City. So really glad that it worked out that way, and very happy to have this. And a bit of an unexpected retro offering, because I was not expecting Gemini to make something like this, as obscure of a, sorry about that there, as kind of obscure of a carrier as this, because it's actually not really Eastern Express. This is actually Bar Harbor that operated this, but they were operating as like a feeder carrier for Eastern Express, since they were one of the many commuter carriers that existed back in the 80s and 90s. So we can get that centered up there so you can see the model, and there it is. So go ahead and take a look at the actual model itself, since we didn't do that in the massive unboxing. So you can go check that out and see what other subjects may potentially be reviewed in this series. We'll start off the front. We've got the nose cone, and we have the cockpit windows, which have the nice little windshield wipers on there. Very good detail. There's the nose gear door, which is kind of looks like it's fallen out, but not horrible. We have the nose gear, which is much better on this than the Logan Air release that they did a couple of years ago. That was awful execution, but they've improved on this since. We have the L1 door and the very tiny Eastern Express titles just above that. We have the engines, and then we have a little logo just behind the overwing door. You can kind of see it right there. Very tiny logo. That could be related to Bar Harbor, but I'm not 100% sure. Then we have the rear of the aircraft with a nice little cargo door there, and then the registration November 407 Bravo Hotel, and then we have the Eastern tail, which is very reminiscent of the hockey stick livery, which it actually is, but it is slightly modified to better fit the Saab here. Here's the other side of the aircraft where we have the cockpit window, very much askew on this side, but you know, looking at it from afar, you're not going to notice it, so I'm not going to make a big scene about it. And then there is the other side of the aircraft here. Nothing much different here, just a couple areas where the doors and window alignment is a little bit different on this side. Then we'll go ahead and take a look at the underneath of the aircraft, where we have the standard Gemini Jets details with the logo and the stand hole, along with the various printed details, and then the flap area looks really good. There's the top of the aircraft, which has one little molded detail just ahead of the tail. It's right there. Something related to the aircraft for sure. We have some overwing exit markings, which is a little surprising to me for a Saab, but they got to do it somehow. And then little circles painted on the wings there. It's very, I have to angle the plane at just the right angle for the glare to allow that to be reflected. So you can kind of see it there. That looks really good. So a very neat little model here, and as I said, a bit of an unexpected offering from Gemini in the retro department, because one would think that they would not normally make this kind of stuff, but these are the kinds of planes that would fly out of mostly Atlanta, I believe, but I'm sure they had a couple other areas where they were very prominent out of, but Atlanta for sure. So if I wanted to do a retro Atlanta, I'd probably need maybe another 6 or 7 of these, but I'm not going to be doing retro Atlanta. At least I say that right now, but I'm sure in 10 years it'll probably be a much different avenue if we get there. So now let's go and take a look at the real-life aircraft's history, which is very storied, and it is still flying around, spoiler alert. So we'll go and take a look. This aircraft first flew on November 26th of 1986, so right around the time, just to put it into perspective, I think Republic Airlines, I think they were acquired right at about that time. Not the current one, but I want to see the old one. Okay, that was in September, so a little earlier, but November 26th, the date does seem familiar to me in 1986 for some reason. This aircraft was delivered to Bar Harbor on Christmas Eve of 1986, and the registration that is represented here, so a nice Christmas gift for the folks at Bar Harbor. Operated for them for 5 years, and it went to Northwest Express, who later became Pinnacle Airlines, which are now Endeavor Air, I believe. That was transferred over to them in April of 1991. And then it stayed with them for a dozen years, and now it's overseas in Europe. So it first went to Golden Air, who are in Sweden, in July of 2003 and was re-registered to Sierra Echo-Lima Sierra Romeo. After that, it went to Central Connect Airlines in the Czech Republic in October of 2007 as Oscar Kilo-Charlie Charlie Kilo, and then at the same time it was also converted to a freighter. Then it went to Fleet Air International in Hungary in January 2013, again re-registered to Hotel Alpha-Tango Alpha Golf, so HA-TAG. And now the aircraft is due to enter service with ICAR Air, I believe, in Bosnia-Herzegovina as Echo 7-November Echo Lima. So very nice to see the aircraft still in service and about to enter service with another new carrier to add on to its very storied history. So nice to see that going on for this lovely little Saab. And that will do it for this episode of Retro Reviews. Continuing the grind as I'm about to return to college here in a couple weeks, so pretty crazy to think that the summer is about to conclude here as this video is coming out, because it's still July yet as I'm recording this, so getting ahead of schedule once again with the Retro Reviews, because they're easy to put together, easy to make, and easy to edit. So with that being said, that is the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.